Hello and welcome to another video. This is my 8th video, electronic torture, how to survive it, part 8. I have to add something about my last video. In my last video I showed you this back pulsar, or this device you can build by your own. There's a coil of copper. It must be 2.5 millihenry. You find this protocol, how to build it, in the internet. It's called back protocol. Here's a flashlight, Vita flashlight. It can be any other flashlight. It must have a certain amount of joule of energy, and inside there's a capacitor. I said a condensator. It's just German condensator, but in English it is capacitor, the right word. It stores some energy and then gives a pulse to this coil. And I forgot to say that you can also use it for your brain if you have a headache from these attacks. You can put it on your eyes like this. Don't worry, it makes no harm. Does no harm, and if you put it on your eye, you get this. You hit him. This is a floater, and I guess that this floater is artificial, and it makes some pain that this floater change the daylight into signals for our brain that cause pain. So you can hit this with doing this back pulsar on your eye. And of course the best thing you can do is to put it here. This is the critical point where your reptilian brain is, and they target a lot this point. They can program their machines that they hit always here. They don't have to point. It's all about this scalar technology. I will explain later. But first, the helping things, I said. In my last video, I will first tell you all about the things that helps you out, and if you then may be interested to hear how it works, then I put it in the later videos. In the later videos I will more tell about scalar technology, but okay, this is a very good thing to do. You put it here and give some pulses here, then you feel well that you recover a little bit from these attacks. I was also telling about lung beamers, and they are existing. I said that in my opinion, they are not only beaming mechanical dust, they can beam life forms, organisms like bacteria, viruses. Viruses I don't know, but bacteria, they are quite stable, and if you put them on a plastic polymer and make it nano size, you can also beam this. Why I'm so convinced about this? Well, if I get hurt here at my bronchial tube, the right word is bronchial tube. I show it. Where's my finger? This is a bronchial tube. And they can program the machines that they go with this electromagnetic wave, with a scalar wave inside cavity, inside cavities inside your body. Certain cavities, for example, the nose cavity under my finger. they also can program the machines to go with particles right here into the nose cavity or in your throat below. So that means always keep your throat clean, maybe use borax solution and or Epsom salt solution, potassium iodide. What really helps me out is to take, if they attack my cavity, nose cavity or my throat cavity, I take a tiny little drop on my tongue, on the top, on the tip, on my tongue with the tea tree oil. Not too much, because it can burn your lung. So only a little bit. You go with your peak of your tongue and just take a little bit of this tea tree oil, and then you let this tea tree oil do their work. This tea tree oil, it goes up into your nose cavity, and then you will see that it must be a kind of living organism they put, because it helps a lot. Also the same is with my lung. If I inhale tea tree oil with hot water, only 2 drops, no more, and apple vinegar, then it helps me out. So this is the reason why I'm so convinced that it must be a living organism they beam into my bronchial tube. So if it is mechanical dust, so there would be no difference, isn't it? Why should mechanical dust, like maybe metal or aluminium, I don't know if they do this, but normally they want to make you sick. Okay, I'm talking about me. They try to make me sick, and what I guess is they're giving me tuberculosis viruses or bacteria. I don't know. Tuberculosis, is it caused by a virus or a bacteria? So they try to make me sick, that it looks like a natural disease, but it isn't. They try to make it with their machines, with their devices. And well, I was talking about don't smoke. Yes, if you smoke, you get hurt here from this ash or from this hot smoke, and then they can find the signal, and then they say thank you, we have this place, and they can program these machines that they can hit your bronchial tube, so don't smoke. But okay, inhaling tea tree oil, apple vinegar is good, and there are also passive ways to protect your bronchial tube. If you have an attack on your lung, the best thing is you put a leather jacket around you so that your lung is protected. Or maybe they can also be in other parts, but normally the machines are programmed for cavities that are big enough, like bronchial tube, nose cavity, throat cavity. So they prefer big cavities, and not the smaller ones in your lung. They are not so easy to hit. Well, there are also passive ways to protect this place. In the daytime I put these magnets on. You see, this is when I am under heavy attack, and I put this magnets right here the big ones, it is a ring. It is a neodyme ring. Where I go more forward. This is a ring magnet, and this is another neodyme magnet. It's small, but it's very strong. And if they have maybe this distance, they producing a magnet field, so their gravitons, they circle around. And if I do some more, this is 1, 2, 3, this is 5. This is 5 magnets. 5 magnets around my bronchial tubes. That means that this scalar wave can't hit me so good anymore. I mean, it's not possible to block 100%. It's not possible, but it is quite enough to recover, to feel better, and not to get weak, because this kind of attacks, it starts with a bad feeling in my bronchial tube, and then after a while there goes a pain in the back brain, at the reptilian brain, so they beam things in it, I think microorganisms that go after a while into my brain. Maybe first they take the bloodstream, and then after a while they are programmed to go, or they are special. They have a special ability. They go into the reptilian brain, and then they make frequencies by their own, maybe, or they produce electricity, maybe, or they got a beam from outside, from devices around me, from my neighbor, when I'm at home, neighbors. There are also cars. They follow me, but these cars, there's nobody shooting with a directed energy weapon. It must be only inside a car. You can't see it. It is like a monopole magnet. I will tell you later how it works. Nobody has to point at you. If you have a monopole magnet and a scalar wave, and you are the other pole of the magnet, so they don't have to point at you. The scalar wave hits you. You are like a magnet. you catch this scalar waves like a magnet, like a pole. I will go into this deeper in later videos. Well, another method to protect your bronchial tube is you take a piece of felt, you know, this Scottish lamb wool tissue. Imagine this yellow bottle. Yes, it's for my apple tree, and now I don't need it anymore, so I take it here for my video. And imagine this is your breast, and this is right here on where's the bronchial tube, and you put it here, and you can change the position if you take this thing on the top, and you take better two. It's just to show you, it's an expander, and you take another one, and so you fix it with two. This helps me always out at home in difficult situation. When they attacking me, they have this devices and they hit me right here. So at home I have to make it more like this, and when I'm on the street or in town, downtown, or wherever, they are everywhere. I can go wherever I want. They always follow me. So I need protection. And of course, what is a good thing? If it is a living organism, based on a virus or bacteria. You take this iodide solution. I made a film how to make it by your own, and I show you here on my arm. And so I rub it, or I spread it over the skin. And of course, I do this always, every morning. I put it here over my whole breast. I take a lot of it, and this iodide, it goes after this living forms. I don't know exactly what it is. I guess it's tuberculosis. This iodide goes after it, and this iodide goes in your bloodstream, and it cleans also there this all the stuff, also this morgellons. So, well, there are also methods to protect this place, and you need a good tape. It's a medical tape to fix this magnets. Don't take any tape. This is especially for making, it's normally used in a hospital. It must be medical, and it must be a good one. Otherwise, if you sweat, so that must be a good one, a medical one that gives you no trouble, so that that your skin accept this. Don't take a tape for electricity workers. That would be no good for your skin. So it must be a medical tape, and you fix these magnets on. You build a magnet field around target areas. It's possible. Okay. This is about the breast, and the things I said last videos. There's also another method. You can take this copper, and you can also fix it here. But I decided not to do it because you need a lot of this to make it fix it, and it always goes down, and you need so much of it, and this tape is it's expensive, it's not cheap, so I don't do it anymore. But you can try also to make this copper. You have to tape this copper piece that it is saved against wetness, so that it don't becomes green. Otherwise, it becomes green, and you can't use it anymore. That was about beaming machines. Also, in your apartment, if you have a problem with beamers above you, normally they are above you. They hire your neighbors living above you, give them a lot of money. Well, they have enough money, it's no problem, and difficult times, everybody is glad about money. And so if there's no community in your house and you live kind of anonymous, so that make it easy for them to hire your neighbors. And yes, they can also torture your neighbor so that they are willing to do this. Well, so normally they are above these beamers, and you look for special dust. If you see dust, you always have to clean your apartment. There are also kind of tubes, nanotubes. It looks like dust, but it isn't. There are tubes that take the energy, and they reflecting this energy back to your body in a special way, like the morgellons do. For example, blue grid or red grid. Today I brought a photo with me. You can see a morgellon with copper. This picture I found in my file. Well, look at this morgellon. What you see is a blue fiber, and on the end of the fiber there's copper, and this means that this fiber inside your body, they are inside our bodies, can collect copper, and they take it just from your body, and that means that this is a very artificial life form, but it must be based on a mushroom. I remember in my youth, it was 1986, and there was this accident in Chernobyl in Ukraine, in a Russian, white Russian area. They had a lot of fallout, but they said, don't you collect mushrooms in a forest, in the wood anymore, because these mushrooms collect special metals like strontium, cesium, which is radioactive, and they still have this problem in Bavarian wood in the south of Germany. There's a wood, it's called Bavarian wood, and these mushrooms still have this radioactive metals from this accident Chernobyl. So there are mushrooms. They have this this property that they like to collect metals. So, and they made a special form of mushroom that collects copper. So that means this morgellons must be based somehow on a mushroom. You can also smell it when they spray it. I can smell it. It smells like mushrooms. I remember when I was collecting mushrooms in a wood, and you smell on a mushroom, it smells nearly similar. There are days you can smell it in the air. So if you smell this mushroom taste in your nose, you know, okay, it's Morgellon Day. They have special program, maybe one day Morgellon, another days aluminium, metals, barium, strontium. Other days there are more maybe piezo crystals to make this smart dust, this piezo crystal cloud that they make a quantum computer in the air that they can. You know, this is quite complicated stuff, and I try to concentrate on first on the things that helps you out. Well, okay, be aware of this mushroom smell. That means there are morgellons, and then you take these antifungicides like iodide, lime, sulfur dip on your skin, and borax. I have to tell you something about borax. As I said, they have special organisms that can make frequencies inside your brain, inside your body, that you feel pain because of these frequencies, or maybe they're producing kind of electrical currency. Wait, what I want to say? Yes, I want to say that this borax can also swing. It's a molecule I show you, and if you drink a borax solution, it can cause you pain, because they can measure it if you drink it. Look, this is a borax molecule, and there are atoms, so that O it's oxygen, and B it's a boron, and each and this on the sides it is hydro. Yeah, it's a kind of, it looks like water, but only one H. So that means not. It is like water, but it has a special name. I don't know. Well, okay. The point is that this molecule can swing, and if they find the frequency, that can give you a lot of pain inside your brain. I tried it. When I was looking this film, Look Out for Charlie, he said, well, he drank gallons of it, and I said, okay, I try it, and after a while I decided better not to do it. But for a bath tube, if you put it in your bath tube, maybe 2 teaspoons, it is okay, because it's a good antifungicide, and there are also this advice to wash your laundry with it is very good, but to swallow it with water in a solution, take better care, because they can make it swing. Well, I can read something about borax. It is not allowed in your country, in the United States. I don't know who sees this video. Maybe some other people from the whole world. Well, I just read it. So okay, it is a food additive. Borax, given the E number E285, is used as a food additive, but is banned in some countries, such as the United States, China and Thailand. So about toxicity, it is from Wikipedia, by the way. Borax, according to one study, is not acutely toxic, but they say if you take a lot of it, so over a period of 5 to 10 years, it can cause liver cancer. But anyway, I want to suggest you not to take too much of it oral. You can try it. It is a good antifungicide, but there are also other antifungicides. You can, for example, you can just take potassium iodide oral. Yes, okay, but this borax, it is not dangerous, it is not toxic, but it is not allowed as a food additive in the United States. But there are many household products like 20 Mule, Team Borax, Laundry Booster Boraxo. It is in hand soap, tooth bleaching. Well, you find it in the United States in household products. In Germany, not at all. It's forbidden. I always have to order it in Croatia, because my lovely European Commission in Brussels, they made a law, it is not allowed for private households. Well, okay, I can order it in Croatia, so I got it, but here in the shop you can't buy it if you live in Germany. In the last video I said also about this fungus, this mushroom. It's called sporotrichosis. You have it on your skin. They spray it on us. What is the purpose for it? I remember of this film, The Missing Link. Yes, this mushroom or this fungi, sporotrichosis, can produce electrolytes, that they can give you currency over your body, inside your body, but the main purpose is to attack your immune system and your nervous system, that you go weak, that they try to make you weak. I read you a little bit more about this sporotrichosis. There are different kinds. There are different kinds of this sporotrichosis. The last video I read about sporotrichosis schenckii. It's a natural form. It is on plant. You know, this rose handler illness, sickness, disease, rose handler disease it is called in a common way. Yes, if you have a wound on your skin, you can get an infection from plants, from the soil. If you have a rotten soil, there's this bacteria inside it. It's a bacteria. Oh no, it's a fungus. Sorry, it's a fungus. What is bad if you eat white flour, especially white flour products with yeast. If you have a yeast dog, yeast, you make white hamburgers, white breads. If you go to McDonald's or to Burger King, all these hamburgers are made with yeast. So in this fungi and especially this sporotrichosis, they spray on you. They are growing from this yeast, so don't eat this anymore. Eat more rice. And this is, I forgot to say, it is not only white flour, it's the yeast inside this white bread. They usually put this yeast to make it soft, or you know, that they got air in it, that it is softy, and so this yeast is very dangerous. Also, if you put it in the oven, it is hot, but there's always a rest of yeast active in it. So in this sporotrichosis, they love it. They exploding from it. So take your hands off of this white flour breads that are containing this yeast. Also other white flour products, even if there's no yeast. Okay. So avoid yeast. I have to add, well, I want to read you about other kinds of sporotrichosis, and there are three other kinds that are important, and I'm convinced that they are using them, or maybe one of them. I read it for you. There's one called cutaneous or skin sporotrichosis. This is the most common form of this disease. Symptoms of this form include nodular lesions or bumps in the skin. This is the picture I showed you last time. After using lime sulfur dip, you see this happen on your skin. Symptoms of this form include nodular lesions or bumps in the skin at the point of entry, and also along lymph nodes and vessels. The lesion starts off small and painless and ranges in color from pink to purple. Left untreated, the lesion becomes larger and looks similar to a boil, and more lesions will appear until a chronic ulcer develops. Usually cutaneous sporotrichosis lesions occur in the finger, hand and arm. In my case it was a leg. Okay. There's another kind of sporotrichosis. It's called pulmonary sporotrichosis. This rare form of the disease occur when sporotrichosis schenckii spores are inhaled. Symptoms of pulmonary sporotrichosis include productive coughing, nodules and cavitations of the lungs, fibrosis and swollen hilar lymph nodes. Patients with this form of sporotrichosis are susceptible to developing tuberculosis and pneumonia. Well, okay, that's it. I said before already what I guess what they try to beam inside me, and they even put it in chemtrails. So you inhale it. Okay, I'm convinced that they are doing this. Well, there's another form I want to read, and then I will end this video because it's enough for this video. That was just an additional video for my last video. So the last form of sporotrichosis I will read is disseminated sporotrichosis. When the infection spreads from the primary site to secondary sites in the body, the disease develops into a rare and critical form called disseminated sporotrichosis. The infection can spread to joints and bones, as well as the central nervous system and the brain. Well, as I mentioned in other videos, the central nervous system and the brain is always goal, so why should they not take this for attacking us? It's quite logical that they also use this kind of sporotrichosis. So you see there are several kinds of sporotrichosis. This is only what you find in nature. Of course, if you have laboratories, you can genetically modify this into more aggressive forms. This is only what you find in nature, and you can imagine that it is a little bit worse than what is written here. So be aware of this attack and avoid white flour products. Sugar, no way. This sporotrichosis, all mushrooms, they like sugar, they are growing from it. Also this morgellons, they are also based on a mushroom, on a fungi, they exploding from sugar and white flour products. So that's it for this video.